Hey guys, it's Jason here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. Today I finally get to show you guys my completed Mojave EXB. If you've been watching any of the videos I've done lately, you've seen it in the background. You know that I did a full BasherQueen carbon fiber kit in it. I've got it all completed and I want to show you guys that. But I'm also going to talk a little bit, guys, about carbon fiber in general. Not really go into any major specifics, more about real world scenarios. That is why this ledge is sitting there. But anyways, let's get to checking out the Mojave. All right, guys, here it is. As you can see, we've got the rear shock tower, the tower-to-tower brace. We've got her servo mount. We've got the servo saver. Down here, it's kind of hard to see. We have the carbon fiber ESC mount. We've got the front shock tower. We've got, I don't even know what these are called. But you know what, guys? When it comes to these little pieces right here, I'm going to show you guys something because I kept it out. So you can see there's the carbon fiber one. And I'm just going to bring this in here. There is the stock part right there. I'm going to see if I can line this up the best that I can. I'm not doing a very good job, but you can see that it's definitely, guys, the carbon fiber is a lot thicker. Now, I'm not a super expert in carbon fiber. You know, when it comes to metals, we all know 7075 is better than 6061. We know stainless doesn't rust, but it's a lot softer. When it comes to carbon fiber, I'm assuming that there are better quality, better, I guess you can say, layers, woven strands. If Kimberly's watching this video, she's probably already started rolling her eyes. Hopefully she's commenting right now or posting a link to something where we can learn more about it. But overall, better quality carbon fiber, guys, as well as the thickness of the carbon fiber obviously will add to the strength. Now, what I'm going to do first, guys, before I even get into my truck, is just talk quickly about my Traxxas Sledge. Because anybody that's watched any of my videos on the Traxxas Sledge knows that I have the BasherQueen carbon fiber shock towers front and rear. I have the carbon fiber shock towers on the back of my sledge, or actually on front and rear, is because of this guy right here. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this up against the front tower, and you can see, guys, there's a good bend going on there. Now, the reason I'm showing you guys this is that what you have to understand is that happened on, I believe, the second run of my Traxxas Sledge. And I remember, you know, I got the truck, I'd done a bad landing, whatever, flipped the truck over, started driving it again, and I realized that my rear wing was all kicked up. It looked ridiculous, and I thought, what the heck happened? I honestly, guys, thought I'd broke like a wing mount or something like that. Oddly enough, I have broke the wing mount, but not at that time. I got the truck in and realized, yep, I had bent the rear shock tower. And I was really, guys, puzzled because I haven't really bent that many rear shock towers. I went online, saw that BasherQueen had her carbon fiber shock towers and thought, you know what? This truck is already heavy to begin with. And if I can find a spot where I can lighten it up a bit, I think that will be a really good thing to do. So I ordered her carbon fiber shock towers. I got them in. And as you guys can see, I try my best. Right now, guys, I'm holding like a gimbal, so I can't get in as easy if I was just holding the camera. But you can see the shock towers, guys, are still good. And the reason I'm even putting a little bit more emphasis to that is the fact that the last time I was out, I did break the wing mount. So I have broken a wing mount, a front CVD, I broke a front arm, I bent the rear shock tower in the first few outings, but the carbon fiber shock towers, guys, are still straight. They're not broken. And I keep saying straight, which is probably not the greatest word because really carbon fiber is going to break, shatter, break before it's never going to bend. It's just going to break. And you know what? The one thing I will say when it comes to parts, you know, parts that break, parts that, you know, you want to replace is it's nice that those carbon fiber shock towers are obviously, guys, adding a lot of strength to the truck. They have not broke yet, but they did allow for this part to break without breaking the tower. And I'm a fan, guys, and look at that. I'm a fan of parts breaking that are easily replaceable, but also cheap. The last thing you want to do is have to, you know, tear apart a truck to get to some hard part that's a pain in the butt, that's expensive, whatever. That's not where I want to be. Something like this is cheap and it's easily replaced. And that's why, guys, I'm so puzzled. And you know what? I'm sorry if you guys are watching right now, but Traxxas released these towers in a whole bunch of cool colors. And don't get me wrong, it looks awesome. So to be able to, you know, change your brace, shock caps, shock bodies, all that kind of fun stuff with orange, green, all that stuff, I can totally get it. Except Traxxas didn't give us 7075. And you know what? So I don't really understand why you would replace your stock shock towers with the other colored ones of these. It just doesn't make any sense. Instead, sorry about the bang, go onto eBay. I'm going to leave guys links to everything that I did on the Mojave. So all the parts on the Mojave, all the carbon fiber parts, I'm going to have those in the description, as well as, guys, the links to the Traxxas Sledge carbon fiber shock towers. Hopefully they're still in stock. Just so that you guys can go and grab them. Because to me, when it comes to the Sledge, you know what? There's a few parts on this truck that I'm not a fan of. I don't really like the electronics. I don't like the stock servo. But overall, guys, the Sledge is a pretty good truck. But the shock towers themselves, they need to be replaced. And in my opinion, guys, because this is already a heavy truck, they need to be replaced with BasherQueen carbon fiber shock towers because they're strong, they look good. But I've talked about the Traxxas Sledge now for 4 minutes. Let's head back over and check out the Mojave. Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time going over each individual part. It's a carbon fiber shock tower. It's a carbon fiber shock tower. I'm not going to spend 5 minutes on that. However, there's a few of her parts that, to me, just deserve a little bit more time, and one of them is servo saver. So this kit, guys, comes complete. You've got the post, you've got the collar, you've got the spring, it comes with bearings, so it replaces the bushings. And what I really like about this kit, besides from getting rid of the bushings and all that kind of stuff, is you have right here, you guys can see this little kind of indent, that is for your set screw, and you can back that off and you can adjust your collar. So you can it's a little bit easier to get to this one because it is bigger. It's all knurled on the side. So you can adjust your tension, and then you also have this set screw here that you can just kind of tighten up and keep it nice and snug. I really like that. You don't have to worry about your steering, all of a sudden getting kind of loose because your friggin' little collar backed off. That's not going to be the case. Now, while we're in the front, you can see that I've got the servo mount. It comes, guys, with all the hardware, everything that you need to put in the servo. Obviously, guys, not the servo horn or anything like that, but all the like the screws down here, washers, all that kind of stuff comes complete. I've got the top brace right here. And one thing, guys, I'm going to touch on quickly is the tower-to-tower brace. I've had her carbon fiber tower braces before. I had them on my Felony. I have them in my Creighton EXB. And one thing that she was pretty happy about, and I could tell when I was talking to her, was she now uses a company in the States to make the rod ends. So before, they used to be the hot racing rod ends. These are now done by a machine shop in the States. No overseas, none of that type of stuff. And honestly, guys, the silver, that kind of polished look on the aluminum, looks sick on that brace. I really, really like it. I think, especially on the Mojave EXB, the red, the carbon fiber, the aluminum bits just tie in and look wicked together. When it comes to the ESC mount, I don't have the best ESC to show you guys what I'm about to talk about, because with the Hobby Wing Max 6, this ESC plate already has the pre-drilled holes in it. What's nice about that is that you can actually mount the ESC to the tray and then mount the tray to the actual truck itself, to the chassis. Now, what I did in this case, guys, I always use, even if I had been using a Max 6, I always use a fairly thick industrial strength Velcro first. And then I run my screws through that. I find that you get kind of the secure, the strength, the security of having screws in it, but at the same time, you kind of have a bit of a cushion there between the Velcro. I right now just have the Velcro. I don't have a zip tie around this. I will be putting a zip tie around it before I start running it. I just kind of left it off so that it would look a little bit cleaner for the video. I have my sensor cable, guys, running underneath, not really underneath the motor. It's kind of over here on the edge, but then it runs underneath the tray and then comes up right here. I did have to buy an extension for that, by the way. This little piece, guys, right here where your wires are in. If you look, I don't know if I can show you guys, but there is another screw hole back here. So if you wanted, you could move this piece right here that holds your wires back a little bit. Now, I had initially done that. I thought that was a great idea, kind of cleaned things up a little bit, kind of made the wires a little bit more secure back here. But what I liked about keeping this here, and I don't know, guys, how good of an idea this is. I don't know if it's going to work the way I thought it will, but in, the case of, let's say, a massive impact, let's say it broke through the zip tie, it broke, the bond with the Velcro. I feel like just even having one piece here to kind of stop this thing from going into the pinion would be better than nothing. It would, at least that first impact would hit this instead of going straight into the motor, straight into the pinion. So that is why I've left this here. Some of you guys might think I'm out to lunch. Personally, I think that's a good idea. I think it would help Again, guys, if I happen to just get into a really, really bad landing, a bad crash, and everything goes to shift, hey, I'll hit this. Now, one thing, guys, I haven't talked about yet is the battery I'm going to be running in this truck. And as you can see, it's one of Gensace's new advanced series. So this is a 6S, 6800 milliamp, 100C discharge rate, high voltage pack. But unlike their other packs, this one is a smart battery. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the battery out of the truck so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Here on the side of the battery, you got this button. Give it a little press. You can see the 3 LEDs lit up. This is still sitting at storage voltage. I have not charged it yet. So once I do, all 4 LEDs will be lit up. And then they just kind of count down at an interval, you know, 100%, 75, 50, so on. I will be doing, guys, a video shortly on these. I say these because I have a few more of these advanced series coming. I've got a couple of the 3S, I think they're 6500 series of the advanced batteries coming. So I'll be doing that, guys, hopefully soon. But all I'm going to say, guys, while I have this here is this is one wicked looking battery. It's a hard case and it just looks nice, which I know for a lot of people is like, hey, yay, it's a battery. But to me, guys, I just think that looks really, really cool. A huge thank you to the BasherQueen for sending me out these carbon fiber parts. I have another set that is going to be going my fire team in the next few weeks. You know, it was kind of funny. I've mentioned, guys, in multiple videos regarding this truck that I was going to kind of convert the fire team over to the Mojave. So remove a lot of the Mojave bits and move it over to the fire team. But I'm not sure I'm going to be doing that now. I don't know if I'd mentioned it or not, though. I think the 1650 will be coming out of this truck. And I'm either going to go with a 2200 in here or something a little bit different just to make it a little bit lighter. That is why, guys, I went with all the carbon fiber bits. I'm trying to reduce the weight on this truck as much as I can. And honestly, I just think the 1650 is just almost too big of a beast for this truck. But that's it, guys. As always, if you enjoyed this video, give me a big thumbs up. Please subscribe and enjoy the pics.